Okay, good evening to all our listeners. Today we have another fantastic guest here whose name is Anastasiia Oztiunch, and she's a charming personality who has a unique experience of working in different countries, in Ukraine and in another country where she's based right now. So, Nastya, could you please talk a couple of words as an introduction about your geography? What is your hometown? Where do you come from? And where are you right now?
Yeah, hello everyone. Generally, I'm from Zaporizhia and not Zaporizhia, but like suburbs. I come from the village, which is situated near Zaporizhia. And now, currently, I'm living in Antalya in Turkey. So, like, we moved after the war broke out. So,
Mhm.
we're here now. But I work with Ukrainian students, not Turkish.
Okay, okay. What are you busy doing these days?
What I'm doing, I teach, I teach, I teach students. I work in online school now, um, and I have some private students too, as a tutor, and like I combine two jobs, but
Mhm.
the same thing.
Okay. Are
Yes.
you working as a freelance teacher? Are you working for like have you ever worked at the public institutions? Tell about your experience. Wait.
I have never, yeah, I have never worked in a school, in a normal school with like class of students. No, I work in online school and like I have individual lessons and group lessons there, and I have my own students, which like I work face to face, like individual lessons. So as a tutor and online school, but I have never worked in public school, for example, in Ukraine.
Okay. Would you like to try one day to work for a public school?
I'm not sure about it because as I know, there is so much paperwork, which
Mhm.
I don't like. So it's not just about lessons. Maybe lessons can be interesting there, but not all this kind of
Mhm.
type of work that they have. So this is not very nice. So less paperwork, the less, the better.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit in the past and start from your school days. What kind of pupil were you? Could you please describe yourself as a pupil of, let's say, like final classes at school?
Yes, like I was a nerd. I loved studying and like I loved reading. I stayed at home. I read books like everyone was playing outside. Like I was reading and it was interesting. So all kind of knowledge. Like now looking back, I think, oh my God, how did I do that? Because it now it looks difficult for me, but it was okay then. So yeah, I loved it, and I still love studying. So I study currently all the time. I study
Mhm.
something new.
Okay. And when you were learning, when you were studying at university, what was your major there?
Yeah, I graduated from physics and like it wasn't English, linguistics, or anything, not translation. It was physics, which I didn't want, but like it happened like that. So I wanted, my aim was to study at the university. So I went to the physics faculty, but it was kind of interesting, difficult, but challenging. But I like don't regret because it was useful, and I found friends there and met nice people. We still keep in touch, so it was like nice experience.
Okay, and like, could you tell a little bit more about this experience with studying physics? Did you use it? Like, did you pursue this career in physics? Did you use it somehow in your professional area?
Yeah, after I graduated, I stayed there. I had I had worked there for 3 years, and then I got married and I stopped working there. But I worked with students. We did lab laboratory works. It was electricity, I think, and optics. So yeah, and after that, I after that I saw that I would never do anything like that. I burned my mm, copybooks, everything, my books, copybooks. And later I needed them because I did it again, like when I was as a tutor, not just English, but some math and physics, and I didn't have anything. So that was that I regretted, like that I burned everything I didn't have. It was valuable.
And what about this decision to burn all your notes and all your papers? Did you hate it so much that you decided like to to get rid of all the
Like
papers?
I thought it wasn't my cup. Like physics, generally, it's difficult because all these formulas and all these things. This, if you look at this like this, with this approach, so it's very difficult. But if you look at it as a nature and all this, like how everything is constructed, how it works, how everything is organized around us, so this is very interesting. But all these calculations, like graphics, I don't know, all this physical stuff. So it was, um, yeah, I thought I wouldn't need it. Like that's why.
And how this transition to English happened? Like, what motivated you to switch to absolutely different area? Because English is not only language; it's also methodology and some background knowledge about psychology, teaching, like classroom management. How did you get into that?
Yeah, like it was like occasional because my classmates, she asked me to work with her son, help him explain something, and I did, and they liked, and I liked it. So like I started working like just in the like face to face, one student, not groups, and just help them like who didn't know how to read. So I taught them how to read and other things. So yeah, it was okay, like one student, and he comes and he has his needs, and I helped. But generally, of course, if we look at general teaching, it's very difficult. Yes, like, and this is my disadvantage that I like didn't have this education because now I have to work much more than other teachers. I need to improve my English and to learn methodology. So this is challenging now.
Okay, and what about English? Like, how did you learn it?
I always loved it, and I wanted to enter the university, but I didn't. But I had a nice, very cool tutor back the time. Like he was very progressive, and I loved like our lessons. And like general, my father he was interested in this English language, music, and English, and he turned on TV showing us um, cartoons and so on. So like I loved it, and it was easy. I loved it at school. Generally, I loved it. And I would like to study Spanish. So like I was determined to do that, but I didn't. I couldn't enter. Like I wanted to like study at the university like uh, without paying money, yeah, for free. So I didn't get enough points. So that's why like I decided not to go. But physics was free.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
he went
that's the story,
there.
how physics happened. Yeah, that's the story.
Yes.
Okay, and at which
Yeah.
point in your life did you realize that English is your kind of full-time job? Like you dedicate your um, time to teaching English. When did it start? When you realized that you are going to be an English teacher?
Firstly, I had like maybe 3 or 5 students, and I thought, oh my God, I have so many students, like I don't have free time. And then like these students became 10 or 20. And when I had all my schedule, like timetable, it was all full. And then I understood that this is what I do. And it was nice. It was tiring, but nice. But like I felt that, oh, then I do something important because people come to me and they like it and it brings results. So then, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, like something like that. So I understood that I would do that. I
Mhm,
want to do that.
mhm. Have you had any courses or trainings or sessions which helped you to develop yourself as a teacher professionally?
Yes. No, firstly, I had some English, English courses and schools. and to improve my English. And then I had TEFL, TESOL certificate, and teaching young learners I also have. So like I'm working on this, and I have a lot of other in process, a lot of other courses. And so about psychology, about how to teach, how to how our brain works, so how to memorize and so on. So yes, I am developing myself in this area.
Okay.
So yeah.
What is the age of your current students, and which levels do you teach right now?
I have from 7, I think, till 16, like not adults. Like I love the most, like from 10 to 12, I think they are my favorites because they are very funny, and like they already know something that we can have conversations. Levels, I have all levels because I have upper intermediate, I think it's the highest, and beginner, I have beginner, all levels.
Okay. Which level do you prefer to teach?
I think intermediate. So it's like nice. It's upper intermediate and advanced. They require like your, I don't know, your knowledge. It takes time to prepare for these lessons, and takes more efforts than intermediate. Intermediate is very comfortable for me.
Yeah, they know already something. They have the basis. They can discuss topics. You can create
Yeah.
something for them, and they will really evaluate it. Yes, they will really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, could you describe the image of an ideal student for you? Who is that?
Ideal student is someone who wants to learn, who is ready to learn, who comes with this desire. Because if there is someone who doesn't, and like if no motivation, I can't give it, no inner motivation, so I cannot give it. But I love someone who is curious, who wants to learn something, who wants to share. So it's like all lessons, and like they pass very fast, and we enjoy, we laugh, we share something. So this is like when you can talk about experience, what happens in life, like they are using English, using what we had taught before. It's very nice. So someone who is willing, I think, willing student, willing to know.
And what would you do with those students who need motivation and who are not very engaged in learning?
I'm trying to find the way they approach to teach the students, but sometimes there are really difficult like students. But I know them, and I know that they generally they don't like studying. That's why it's very difficult. I am working with them still. I have some one or two like that, but it's very difficult. Like I know that I can't help really, and it's very pity because I don't know who can help. They are not interested in this. So, but others, it's okay. I know their interests, so I can find something like football or games or cinemas. We can talk about these things, and they share. They share. They learn something like kind of using games. But if someone doesn't, so it's not not possible.
Exactly, yeah, like being more personal, yeah, about the interest, to personalize the topics of the classes, yeah, to get them involved.
Yeah.
Do you communicate with parents on a regular basis?
Yes, I communicate like once a month. We give feedback about what we did, what topics we learned this month, and what was good, what was not very good, what we should pay attention about homeworks, about everything. Yeah, and like they also give feedback, say, okay, we will pay attention, or we will do something with it. Yeah.
In your opinion, who is an ideal parent, like in terms of learning English for their kids, yeah, like the education process for their kids? What kind of parent is the ideal one?
I don't know, I think supportive, and parents, they must know how to motivate, I don't know, students, because sometimes, yes, when I can't, so sometimes they can. I don't know what they use, but they say, oh, okay, we know how to motivate, and they motivate, and then the kid works. So it's someone who is interested, because some parents, they don't even like read my messages, and this is, I understand that. Okay, no need to write because you don't care, but like ideal, it's when someone participates in the kid's life and writes, reads, and helps, and can motivate. So like it's a cooperation between me and parents. So this is cool. But if they don't want to, what can I do?
Okay, coming back to to the lessons that you give, what is your favorite aspect to teach?
Favorite, I love to teach vocab because I like riddles or using pictures or games, something explaining. We can play a lot of games here. And grammar, but like really maybe intermediate, but upper intermediate is really difficult to explain. Difficult to explain, and you must be more creative, and like it really it takes more efforts. Like general vocab. I love phrasal verbs. I like idioms, especially idioms. You can use pictures and it's funny, and like some kind of guesses. So like something like that, like speaking, more speaking, using visual materials. Grammar, it can be, but not upper or advanced, because it's kind of challenging.
Yeah, like you have to understand yourself what happens and how it works, which structures to use just to explain effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And what about the areas which you find difficult to teach, or maybe those which take a lot of time to prepare, something that you wouldn't do on a regular basis, like something that you would always postpone or maybe do in small amounts?
And I think probably like the prepositions. I personally, I don't like prepositions because there are so many cases of usage, and they like deeper,
Mhm.
and like sometimes when they have exceptions, and I say, well, generally it's like this, but there's always exception,
A big
and this is
yeah.
this is very bad because students say, why, how, why does it happen? There is an exception. Say, but you told me, and they say, oh, and what can I do? It's not my idea. So something where, but exceptions are everywhere. So I don't like prepositions because you can't like just, I don't know, you don't understand prepositions. Like basically, yeah, you have to remember, or I don't know what. Yeah, do a lot of exercises. So this is very tricky. And some yes, upper intermediate advanced constructions like inversions or like complex sentences. Well, they are really very difficult sometimes. Like I can't imagine in my mind, like even I can't imagine this structure, like, and what it means. Like why do I do that? For example, why should I do that? Like such a complex idea. Hmm? It's interesting, but to explain, it's really difficult.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the levels that you teach generally?
I have intermediate, pre-intermediate, like different ages,
Mhm.
elementary, and I have one group, upper intermediate, one group of students. Yes, I have. Uh, it's okay. Like according to the program, they will have difficult things, but like normal, acceptable. And I know that upper intermediate will be okay. Just they will have inversions, something like that. So it's normal. But I know that they don't like when they look at these things, so they, oh my God, again, these things, or such tenses like present perfect and present perfect continuous, like when it's confusing, when something confusing. So students, when see these things, say, oh my God, again, like why, how do I know? Some things take time. It takes time to practice, to learn.
Exactly.
Mm,
They need to understand the material, just they need time to practice it all. Right. In your
yeah.
practices, which learning tools help you to present vocabulary or grammar effectively? Do you use any special websites or instruments that you really prefer and you use it a lot?
yeah, I use a lot Wordwall. I use Bamboozle. I use quizzes, like you recommended, and like it's very nice thing. It's really easy to create quizzes there, and actually they have a like a wide choice, and you can find ready exercises there. So I use them a lot. I think the most I use them. Oh, there are a lot of others with ready exercises. So like pretty much like different, and like there was about a cube. I remember that you also recommended like it was like when you it's like throw a dice or something. I don't
Okay.
know, Dave Breeze. Yeah, when different pictures, and I love it as a warm-up, for example, like what did you do yesterday, and they make up a story. So like a lot of things, a lot of sites have ready games, and like you go and you open and you have your warm-up if it fits your topic. So I use
Yeah,
all
luckily,
the time because it's funny.
yeah, luckily today we have a big choice of materials, and you
Yeah,
have a variety of them. You go online, just type what you need, and you will get exactly the
yeah,
same.
yes.
Also already done exercises that you can just check and do. Yeah, what about lesson preparation? This is the question that tortures me personally because I can spend hours and hours preparing for class, looking for some materials. What about you? How much time do you need to prepare for classes?
Depends like do like on if I need to prepare all
Mhm.
lesson, so it takes time because like presentation or something like that, and like it really like it has stages, vocab and grammar and something, and exercise practice, it takes time. But I started after you after you again, after you recommended, I started GPT. I tried to work with GPT chat, so it's a very nice person person, like it helps so much. So I just write what I need. Like the main thing is to ask the right questions. They have to give a clear comment, and it helps a lot. So you just need to choose something and add your games. Yeah, you have structure. So I really use it, and it helps very much. If it's like I have to prepare all the lesson, if I have to prepare just games or something, I do that myself. But GPT is for it's like huge help.
Yeah, yeah, it's an amazing tool for teachers, but you should use it really wisely and selectively because not always
Yeah, yes,
they are.
I select, yeah.
And sometimes, you can get so much carried away with typing questions, getting answers, changing the question, getting another answer, changing another in another way, getting something new. So it also takes time to play with it, to work and just
Yeah.
to have what you need in the final end. Yeah, it's very good for ideas, especially if you need for ideas and for controlled
Hmm.
practice. You have your target vocabulary.
Yes.
It can help you to create activities exactly based on
Yes.
your vocabulary. Yeah. Okay, all right. What about your professional development in general? Which courses, or which seminars, webinars, conferences do you take part in? The question is about your country in general, about Turkey, whether there are a lot of opportunities for teachers there, and what are they, and your position, like do you participate in these events?
Um, so in truth, I have no idea what they have in Turkey because I work in our Ukrainian school with our kids. So I don't know. I just know that teachers here, they are valuable. I know like everyone says, they respect teachers and doctors. So and maybe I could might find work here, but I don't want, because I want to teach our students. Like I don't want to work with Turkish kids now. Like I love Ukrainians, so I if I take part in something, so they are webinars or seminars, something from Ukrainian teachers, like I can buy some course or attend like online webinar about methodology with different speakers. So yes, I attended last year, I think, and last year I bought a course like how to work, for example, in Canva, how to make presentations. So like I always do something, but in Ukraine. I follow Ukrainian teachers and tutors, and like I buy their products.
And like the question, what is the exact reason why you don't want to work for Turkish audience? Do you have any fears? What stops you? What prevents you from this? It could be an area of development. Yeah, you could work with a new audience.
Yeah, it's a little bit personal. Yeah, I hope Turkish people will not watch this video. It's just about the mentality, and I have different examples of kids here. I see like relatives and so on. So I understand like, no, I don't want to do that now. I don't know, maybe later, but now I'm not ready. I know that our kids, we are very close. We find understanding very easily. But with Turkish, I'm not sure. And my Turkish is like, okay, if I use just English, it's okay. But I must use Turkish also too. So I think it will be difficult. Like they asked me, some people asked me, I say, sorry, I don't know Turkish like so well to teach your kid because your kid knows Turkish and now zero English, for example. So it's kind of like Ukrainian is easier than Turkish.
Good. Okay. Then what would you describe, how would you describe yourself as a teacher? What is your superpower as a teacher? What do you do for your students that they stay with you for longer and that they like your classes?
I think it's like the superpower is to find approach to I interest. I'm really interested in their lives. For example, I know all their interests, and they share very no almost all. They share everything very easily, and like I think that I have good memory, so I memorize, so we can like build this connection, like because I ask what like, so it's personal approach. And I use sense of humor. I love it. So I love when it's interesting, when it's funny, when it's creative. So when it's not interesting, I say, oh guys, it's not interesting, let's do something else, let's like make up something now, and we like can find a game or something like that. So it's like I love fun, and it's personal approach, I think.
Yeah, yeah, great. Okay. You mentioned Turkish as a language. I'm really interested to know, how did you learn Turkish? Was it you yourself? Did you take any courses? Did you have any teachers to help you? How did you learn the language, which is absolutely different from Slavic and from English?
Yeah, it's different, but it's good that they have a Latin, yeah, alphabet, I think. Like it's very similar to English, so they are not like Arabic.
Mhm.
I like one my friend gave me a book, and like I already I had met my husband, I think, future husband, so I knew, and it was interesting. I listened to Turkish music like Tarkan and others, so like I knew about it. And one my friend gave me a book and say, oh, look, like Turkish in 3 months. And so I learned how to read. It wasn't difficult. And then, but I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak Turkish. And I came here, and all the relatives, like people generally don't know English, they speak Turkish. That's why maybe after 6 months, he was a child, like nephew, and he was studying, or he was learning talking. So we like learned together, like all the simple words, like with him. And then I started because firstly I couldn't understand like what they were saying to me, telling me. It was so fast, and like I didn't understand, the constructions were a little bit different. So like it was difficult first few months, I think. But living here, like, and actually thanks to my mom-in-law, she showed everything. Like she showed me things, yes, and said this is this and this is this. Like she explained me what was around us, and I did it.
Okay, okay. Which advice would you give to students who are learning a language in general, any language, Turkish or English?
Like it must be desire, like to learn, and if you have it, so you will find the way. But actually, if you live somewhere, like in this yeah, surroundings like English speaking or any other, like whatever language you want. So this is better and it will be much faster. So practice, I mean, practice and one more time, because no matter how hard you listen or watch at home, it will not help. Like you will forget it, but use language. And it's better to do that in this surrounding with this language.
When you're immersed into the culture, when everything is around you in Turkish or in English.
Yes.
All right. You mentioned that people in Turkey, they generally don't speak English. Is it true? Like, what is the percentage of those who speak?
Older, they don't know. Like they don't know. And I'm talking about Antalya, for example. They like if you see someone in the street, so like there are chances like that they know Russian more than English, like more words than English, because like they don't think that they need. So people who work in hotels, really, they know something. But if you meet someone and say, "Oh, sorry, can I?" So the chances are very low. Like as I see from the relatives here, so they don't speak English. Like this. If you are in this sphere, in touristic sphere, so yes, you will know something, maybe not just English, but others. But normally people don't need, like, why do they need? They are at home. So kids, I mean, maybe young people, yes, teenagers, so they know more. But old generation, no. Like,
And what about the education at schools? Which languages do they learn as children?
they learn English and they learn German. I know, like, uh, and there are a lot of courses. I mean, they can attend, but it again depends on the person. Like, if wants, so will study, learn, but it doesn't. So I don't see here. I don't know personally someone who wants, and again, like even if they pay money and they have good teachers and everything and a lot of English, if they don't practice, they forget it very easily. So there are a lot of possibilities, but I don't know how it goes after that.
Okay. What about your husband? Does he speak English?
We speak English, but rarely. I think more Turkish, because his English is not like like it's interesting that they taught them a little bit different in a different way, and I sometimes I don't understand what he says because of pronunciation, because like like bass and bad, so he says bedroom. I mean, like it was confusion between bedroom and a bathroom, and he said like bath, it's bad, and I didn't understand. I said, what are you talking about? And he said it's the. That's why, like sometimes I don't understand what he says. It's easier to speak Turkish than, and Turkish is more active. Like as I'm living here, it's more active because on like daily basis I use it, so it's like faster to say something in Turkish than English, unfortunately. And I start forget Ukrainian here because like it's very difficult to find Ukrainian words.
Do you have many Ukrainians in your place? Not tourists, like people who live there.
Yeah, there are a lot of Ukrainians, but personally, I don't know. But I can see, like, well, sometimes we see the cars with Ukrainian flag, and when we went to the embassy, so they always they have lines of this, like people who are waiting for something. So yeah, a lot of Ukrainians. Also, there are a lot of Russians here, like even much more than Ukrainians. Yeah, so they live here, yes, like refugees.
Mhm.
They came here to live.
What about your family or your career? Has the war influenced somehow you personally, your values, your family values, your, I don't know, like your family in general? Did you feel that the war has influenced you personally somehow?
Yes, of course. Like my mom and dad, they stayed in my village and they don't want to leave. And they say, no, well, like what will we do? We told like let's go with us. They refused and they stayed and like say like we will live here. Like what happens, it happens. So they stay there. Of course, like we worried first time, like super worried, but now it's like better. But almost all my relatives and friends, they stayed in Ukraine. So values like life is valuable, health is valuable. Yeah, so they are the main things. Family, of course, but I know that if I hadn't done it, so I wouldn't have been like where here. I mean, like if I stayed there, I would still do the same things, like be on the same level. I wouldn't maybe study anything, and like because I had garden, I worked there, so I had other things, tasks at home. But here, I have time. I have more time that I can use it for studying, teaching, for developing myself. So it was a big like step, sort of like jump from one level to another level. So now it's like much better than I was.
Yeah, that's cool.
So professionally, it's good.
You benefited even from that. Like it gave you extra push, yeah, to develop to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you look at your life into the past, did you have any moments which you regret right now or would like to change?
Yeah, maybe that I didn't like actually I could I don't know, take more English courses when I was younger. But I was like lazy and said, oh my God, like why after my university I will go to a new course and it's better like if I go home and sleep or something. So I mean, like I could study more and earlier. I could start it earlier. It will be would be my advantage. But like we have what we have, then I do that now. I'm doing that now.
Catching up with everything right now. If you come back to yourself when you were, let's say, 18, 19 years old, which advice would you give to yourself?
I think not like don't be afraid and try new things because actually I love new things, but I was a little bit shy and I it was difficult to like to come in front of people, stand in front of people and say something. So I mean at that time I couldn't I think about it like to be a teacher or something. So I just not to be afraid and like yeah, meet new people, try new things, try everything, do something. Yeah, like this, like be active, be active.
Take some action, do something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And one more interesting question. Like, what would you do if you didn't have fears? If you had a person who would, like, you would know that this person would help you, or in general, like when you, like, if you want to do something, what would you do for yourself in the future if you didn't have extra fears? If you knew that you would have some support from other people?
I'm not sure. I have never thought about it, but maybe I would like to open like I don't know school. Yeah, so like there are more opportunities now. People open online schools and they teach. So it's nice when you can teach more people than 10 students or 20 students. Like this is nice. So I would like to influence like young people more than I do now. So it would be very interesting to like to create something really like unusual. I don't know, something that wasn't there, hadn't been there before. Um, I am very interested in like again like physics. I didn't get rid of physics because I love it in nature. So I have some groups where I give like science in English. Like I combine two subjects, and it's very cool. It's very interesting. So I would like, I think that to do something like that. Like I'm thinking about it, not just English, but like practical and nature is very cool. So now I have this on my focus. Yes, I will see how
Sounds
it goes.
like a good plan for the future. It would be something new, which would be interested for teenagers and children, like English through physics or physics through English, which is called right now this CLIL approach, when you learn one language through the method of another language. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. All right. And a question about a teacher as a brand. Do you have your social networks? Are you active there? Do you feel that you need to develop your social networks? Do you feel that you need to be more present in this social network community? What is your approach to this?
I have social networks, but they are not professional. But I think that I need it because if I have some plans and if I want to do something more than I do now, so yeah, I should do that. And I think I'm thinking about it. So I hope that I will create like professional profiles and like because I want to like people to know what I do, and of course, like it helps to find new students. I think it's very powerful tool that we can use. But unfortunately now I don't have, but I hope I will. But it also takes time. Yes, it will take
Yeah,
a lot of time
exactly.
to be active, to present yourself. Yeah.
Post everything. Exactly. It requires a lot of time. When you're not teaching, what do you do for pleasure for yourself? Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I have a lot. I have so many things that like it's very difficult to choose. Like I love like started painting now by numbers, but I found a teacher,
Mhm.
and I want to start like something to learn how to do that properly. I know my father, he has talent, but I need to study. What else? Like watching films, Netflix. I have flowers on my balcony now because I don't have real garden, but I have flowers. I used to sew in Ukraine, but make clothes. Now I don't have, but I have a lot of materials here. So I'm planning to buy a machine because I have materials and I need to use them. So this is one thing. I also love shopping, like I don't know, everything. Like if I need if I have time, so it's very easy to find what to do. But the main thing is to find time.
Yeah. Right. Okay. What about movies and TV series? Would you recommend anything that you watched recently and you would like to share?
I don't know, they are interesting TV series. What we watched Netflix. We watched together with my husband. Mostly they are like action films or something about thieves. Yeah,
Mhm.
so we watched like Berlin. It was about thieves, and Lupin. It was about thieves. It is in French, but it was very nice. We also watched. I usually watch about Sherlock Holmes and like all these detectives. Also, what we watched Gentleman, like it's English, Guy Ritchie short TV series, but it's very violent. But it was cool. What else? Like currently, I'm watching The Witcher. The
Mhm.
Witcher, like I started and I liked it, and for fun, we watched Emily in Paris. Like we didn't expect anything, but it's really very light and nice. So
How
like
many seasons
this
are there already? I remember two. Is it two? Is it more already in Emily?
3 seasons, I think 3 seasons, and the fourth will come on in August.
Mhm.
Must be a new season.
Interesting
Yeah.
for the new season. What is your approach to watching movies? Do you watch them in which language do you watch them, and do you use subtitles?
Watching English subtitles. Like it's better when it's English and English subtitles. But my husband, he watches with Turkish subtitles, so I go watch English, and he sometimes read in Turkish, which is not very like English. And English, it's perfect if you are learning. But we don't do that. If I watch alone, so of course, like English for the guarantee that I understand everything, I open subtitles.
Yeah, exactly. It could be like a powerful tool to learn new language, to see how it is pronounced, to fish out
Yeah.
for some phrasal verbs, some slang um, phrases. Yes. Okay. And do you use any movies or TV series in your classes with your children during the lessons?
No, we don't use. I tried to use one TV series. It was like extra. I think everyone knows it's like famous like British TV series, and I even have workbooks, but I didn't do that. I bought them, but I know that they aren't. But it's not very interesting because it's old. Like I know that kids love Wednesday or something like that. Like I haven't seen it. That's why, like, to use something with them, you must choose something, yes, appropriate, and you must watch it. So like I don't have time to watch this Wednesday, for example. So I don't use. So I use a lot of videos, but not TV series because it really takes time. And
Yeah,
like
even
it's
to find a appropriate video for the class takes
yeah,
time. You can spend,
yes,
honestly speaking, hours. Yeah, like an hour and something to look for a video, especially if you want it to be of appropriate level with good
yeah.
language and the design or the idea, the approach, something that would be suitable for the class. Then yes, it takes hours. Films specifically. Yeah, okay. What about reading? Do you do any extra reading in class? Do you read books or stories with your students?
No, now don't we don't do that, but I would like to find, but again, to find appropriate, yes. So with you, we used Roald Dahl. So I'm thinking about it. It would be very nice if we did something like that, but I still like didn't even like I have an idea, but didn't start anything like towards this uh like in this direction. So I would like. I think it could help if a really nice story and you can fish for these nice phrases or look, yes, but must be something short.
Yeah, so let's come back to this question about reading. What exactly do you plan to give to your students? Are these short stories to read or a big book and you are going to like discuss it by chapters? What are your plans?
I think that the ideal if it's something short, because I know they don't like to read, so something short but interesting. Yes, like a few pages or like it's better, like I don't know, one page story where you can find something interesting, fish for these phrases, maybe grammar or something, and discuss it. But still, I haven't started. Or it could be something chapters, but for chapters also, like you have to find like a nice book with this chapters must can be long and can be short, different. So I'm not sure, but it's a very good idea, and I was thinking about it like, because it could help, really
Yeah.
help, and maybe there are some children who love reading, so it would be interesting.
Yeah, in
Or it,
summertime, it's a good
mhm.
chance. Yeah, they have much free time, so they can read and then discuss it with you. Yeah. All right. Okay. And one more question. Looking back into your, not looking back, looking forward into your future. Do you have any plans? What are you going to do next? Do you have any professional development plan? Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5, 7 years? What would you like to achieve?
Definitely, I'd like to like I want like continue working on my English because it's like you must study all the time. So like I don't want to lose the level. I want to improve it. I want, of course, if I can buy any other courses and pass them, like take like I don't know, for kids, teaching kids, something. Yes, I saw like it's possible to buy whatever you want, so online. But anyway, it helps a lot to plan your lesson, like to learn this, to practice. So of course I want, and if I can open like my own school, something interesting, something nice, so it would be very cool. I hope like if I decided to be here, yeah, in this profession, so I have a lot to do, but I have a lot on my plate. I hope that I will manage it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, definitely.
like,
You are very good.
plans, yes,
And I think everything, yeah, you just need to have a good plan and to manage
yeah.
it effectively, then everything is possible. Okay, thank you so much for this talk. We've been talking for about an hour now, so quite, yeah, it was a very meaningful discussion about your life, about your journey in English. It's really like interesting to listen to such speakers, especially when people change their areas, like in your case, from physics and mathematics to English, just jumping into absolutely new area and starting everything from zero. Yeah, but yeah, we have lots of lots of things to discuss here. Good. Thank you so much for being here. I wish all your plans come true. Yeah, there are so many opportunities these days to learn English and to learn everything connected with English. So I think that everything will be fine for you, and you will achieve your goals, and you will have your own school one day, which would be on the intersection between your areas of interest, like English and physics, which is really cool. And this is something new, which could interest people who are very interested in this area and want to connect their life with science, for example. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, Tatjana, I thank you. I thank you for inviting me, and it is a chance to present you. Yes, I don't have my professional profiles, but it is a first chance to present myself, to show that I am. Yes, and I do that, and it was really very nice. Yes, meaningful questions, and the time passed so fastly. And I'm very grateful for your lessons, because I use a lot of things really with my students. I learned a lot from you. That's why it was really valuable. And I can say that I skipped just first lesson. I was everywhere, attended all lessons. So this is very cool.
First, but yeah, you were present all the time.
Yes. So I always came, and it was even if it was a difficult Monday, so it was a nice ending of this Monday, very fun, engaging. I loved it. So thank you so much for your lessons, for your work, and for this for this meeting.
Yeah, for these meetings. Yeah, I hope that it will develop, and we will have more teachers who want to speak and talk about themselves.
Yeah. I hope. I also.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I also wish you that. Yes. I also wish you success with this project, because yes, the more teachers, the better. So I hope it will grow, and I wish you to have a lot of viewers. Yeah, and people will know about teachers in Ukraine. It's very cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for these words. Yeah, see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.